Word chains are an easy, effective tool for teaching beginning rhythm, and today I'll show you how to create your own. Welcome back to Morning Basket Music, your best resource for learning how to teach music to kids. Hopefully you saw my video from last week where I explained the difference between steady beat versus rhythm and how to teach that to young kids. But in case you missed it, I'll put a link right here so you can go back and watch. Once your kids have had a lot of practice with steady beat, they are now ready to begin learning basic rhythms. And the word chain is one of my favorite tools that I use to teach this concept. Well, what is a word chain? A word chain is basically a list of words that you create based on a central theme. It could be anything from desserts to different sports to ocean animals or anything you can think of. The process for creating a word chain goes like this. Step 1, brainstorm a list of words centered around your chosen theme. Step 2, fill in a template with those words and draw the matching rhythms. Finally, step 3, perform your word chain. Today I'm going to show you exactly how this is done. So let's pretend like I already brainstormed with my group of kids that I'm teaching, and we decided on the topic of dessert because that's one of my personal favorite topics to write about. So here is the list of dessert words that they came up with. And I, as the teacher, am now going to determine which words actually go in the word chain. So just as a side note, you get to decide what goes on the board. Obviously, we want to make sure every kid gets their turn to answer and tell their favorite dessert, but you may come across something where you call on a student and they say, my favorite dessert is ice cream sundae with cherries and whipped cream on top and hot fudge sauce, and they give you this really long answer, okay? Obviously, we thank them for sharing their idea, but we say, hey, can you make that idea a little bit shorter? So it's a shorter set of words, and we just write ice cream sundae. Now we are ready for step 2, which is filling in the template of our word chain and drawing the matching rhythms. So I went ahead and chose some answers from our word list that I wanted to use for the template. And when you're teaching beginning rhythm, really we just want students to learn the difference between one rhythm sound versus two rhythm sounds, or a quarter note versus paired eighth notes. Notice I said paired. Yes, there is a different type of single eighth note with a little flag on the end, but remember, we're just introducing this to young elementary kids, so they won't learn that type of rhythm until later on in elementary school. Okay, so we can relate this to syllables like when we clap words. For example, I'm going to clap the word apple. Everyone clap it with me. Apple. How many syllables did we clap? 2. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to draw 2 rhythm sounds for the word apple. Let's clap it and say the word again. Apple. Good. Now this time I'm going to clap pie. How many rhythm sounds did you hear? 1. That's right. So we draw 1 rhythm sound like this. Okay, apple, 2 rhythm sounds. Pie, 1 rhythm sound. Let's keep going. Cookies, 2 rhythm sounds. Cake, 1 rhythm sound. And we have just completed our entire first line of rhythm. Notice I've drawn 8 boxes up here. So you will have a total of 8 beats that you get to perform at the end. And if you feel like that's just enough for your kids, great. If you want it to last a little bit longer, you can always go back and repeat the word chain twice. All right, so let's keep going with drawing these rhythms. Ice, let's clap it together. Ice, I heard 1 rhythm sound. Cream, 1 rhythm sound. Now, here I have to make a decision as the teacher to break apart the word Sunday into individual rhythm sounds, okay? My other choice I'll show you in just a minute. But for the syllable sun, I hear one rhythm sound. And day, I hear one rhythm sound. Ice cream sundae. All right, this is going to be better for those younger kids who haven't learned the concept of a rest just yet. Okay, in a minute, I'll circle back and show you how we can change up that rhythm for our older students. Now we're ready for step 3, which is to perform the word chain that we created. And word of caution to all you parents and teachers out there, never just hand the instruments to your students without having them practice the word rhythms first. Okay, so we're gonna tell everyone, step 1, let's just speak the word chain together and we can clap the rhythms with our hands like this. Apple pie, cookies, cake, ice cream sundae. Now that you've shown you know the word rhythms and you can clap them correctly, it's time to put it on our instruments. Okay, same process. Let's speak the words together while we tap the correct rhythms on our sticks, like this. Apple pie, cookies, cake, ice cream sundae. Apple pie, cookies, cake, ice cream sundae. Now, this is where kids get really excited because you're going to give them a challenge and say, oh, you did such a good job with playing and speaking your word rhythms. The bonus round goes like this. I want to challenge you to just play the rhythms that you see up here, but don't say any words out loud this time. You're going to think those words in your head while you're tapping. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Again. Very good. Now, if the students still need a little extra help because someone's over here just tapping whatever rhythm they want to, okay, you as the teacher can help, obviously, by pointing to each rhythm while they play them. And it would also be helpful for you to just kind of whisper, mouth the words silently so they can follow along, okay? So I'll be the teacher this time and show you how I do that. Ready? Go. You get the idea. So let's review. You accomplished the 3 steps for creating a word chain. You chose your topic and brainstormed your list of idea words. You filled in your template with the words and their matching rhythms, and you showed how to perform the word chain on instruments. Now I want to leave you with a couple different ideas for how you can take the word chain up a notch for your older students or kids who are just ready for a little bit more challenge. So let's circle back to this word right here, Sunday. Okay, I'm only at this point teaching quarter note rhythms and paired eighth note rhythms, but if students are ready for the concept of a quarter rest, meaning a beat that gets no sound because it's silent, then I might choose to do something like this. Instead of breaking apart those syllables, Sunday, I'm going to now put that word back together, Sunday. I'm going to draw my paired eighth notes here, Sunday. But that leaves me with a blank box there at the end. So I'm going to instead replace it with a quarter rest. Just looks like a little squiggle line or a lightning bolt with a hook on the end. Okay, so I have changed the rhythm now. At the bottom, it says ice cream sundae. And I've put a rest there at the end. Believe it or not, a rest is a really hard thing for kids to play, meaning they get to play no sound there at the end, okay? So let's put it back on our rhythm sticks, and for my older students, here's how they'll do it. Ice cream sundae. And you can even make it into a game because, you lose a point if I hear anybody tap on that quarter rest. You have to be sure you're totally silent. And a good way to remember is hold those sticks apart. Okay, one more time. Actually, I'm going to do it from the beginning so you can hear the whole thing. Apple pie, cookies, cake, ice cream sundae. Shh. Very good. Nobody lost a point because you were all quiet on the rest. Congratulations. The other way to turn this into a fun game for any children to play is challenge them to only play a certain type of rhythm on here. For example, in this game, you are only allowed to speak and play the paired eighth notes. So you can play the word apple, you can play the word cookies, you can play the word Sunday, but on every other beat, you have to be silent. And you can even draw in rests in those boxes if you want to, okay? But what this is great for is getting these kids to internalize the rhythm, to really think it in their head, even when they're not actually saying it out loud. So let's try our final challenge game. Are you ready? Only speak and play the eighth notes this time. Here we go. Apple, cookies, Sunday. Great job! Thanks again for joining me on Musical Mondays. I hope this video has been helpful and you now know how to create your own word chain and use it in your teaching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Morning Basket Music so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, happy music making!